So my name is Laia Pedreño Mateu, and I'm the supervisor. It's not an agency, just me offering supervision services and interns to the school. And the school is Oakland International High School. Oakland International High School is a school for newcomers. And their aim is to provide quality alternative education for recently arrived immigrant students in English language acquisition and preparation for college. They have small classes. Right now they serve around 200 students. It used to be around 380, 400 when pre-COVID times, but now it has really decreased. And they speak more than 32 languages. 100% of the students are English language learners, and most of them immigrated to the US in the past 4 years. They come from many different countries. I have 35 here: Afghanistan, Algeria, Bhutan, Brazil, Burma, Cambodia, China, Congo, Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Guatemala, Honduras, Iran, Iraq, Ivory Coast, Jordan, Liberia, Mexico, Mongolia, Nepal, Nicaragua, Nigeria, Philippines, Sri Lanka, Senegal, Somalia, Sudan, Thailand, Togo, Vietnam, and Yemen. 22% of them are refugees that they have escaped some of the world's most violent conflicts and drawn out, and 33% arrive with big gaps in their education, right? So they are learning English, and at the same time they are learning to be in school for the first time. And then this school is very centered around wellness. And they have a big wellness center and department. Right now they have 2 case workers, more than 2. So they have a philosophy of offering a lot of counseling services because they deal with a lot of trauma. There's a lot of trauma in the students. And also counseling to help them adapt to the new culture. Yeah. So and yeah, that's it for now. So completing accurate documentation in time, such as progress notes, assessments, and consents and termination notes. Now I'm trying to teach also treatment planning, which I think nobody ever teaches you, except they tell you to do it. Finding ways to engage the students in counseling, which sometimes takes a little bit of finesse, because they have diverse backgrounds, and it's not a thing very often, counseling in their countries of origins, or sometimes there's like heavy stigma, heavier even than the one that we have. And sometimes it takes to be able to do other things than talk therapy, just as playing games and taking walks and things like that. And then advocating for the student when necessary. And also we have I'll talk about it more later, but we have a meeting every week that is how we do the referrals. And at the beginning, when the caseload is not really full, it's nice to come to that meeting. It's on Tuesdays from 8:30 to 10, just to get a sense of the school and how things work. And after that, it's optional. We have this cost meeting in which we review, so there are referrals coming from the teachers or the adults at the school, or there are self-referrals, right? And then we have like a whole spreadsheet, and we discuss it at this meeting that is called cost. And it is discussed there, and right there and there we assign the client, and we take the input of everybody who is in the room. And the referral usually there's a referral made, and then we take the school checks in with the student and it's like, do you want this kind of services? And then if they say yes, then we start the whole thing. But it's discussed in this meeting, and this meeting, like, it's very heartwarming. Something I really want to convey about the school is that I honestly haven't worked at other schools, but when I was an intern, I heard about it, and like, it's a school that people cares a lot. Like the teachers care a lot, the adults care a lot, and at this meeting you can really feel the warmth and the care. They don't only give services such as like counseling, they give a ton of service, like they give financial help for the students, food services, legal services, they help them with medical, like there's a lot of wraparound care at the school that is, I think, is very helpful when you're working with a population often with so much trauma and also under like really difficult circumstances and financial circumstances and legal circumstances, to know that you have a whole team that actually cares a lot. So it used to be 10 clients a week, over 2 or 3 days a week. And in the past, we used to fulfill that really quickly. Right now, it's slower. It's not as slow as last year, which was horrendous. But so right now it's October and they are almost full, right? But before, like, it took much less. And so yeah, 10 clients, that takes like a couple of months to fill up, and seen over a couple of days. Yeah. I offer 1 hour of supervision of individual and 2 hours of group supervision if I have more than one trainee. Yeah, and we try to find a time that works for everybody's schedules, because this is a thing that I do in addition to my job. So this year is on Mondays, 10 to 12. Yeah, so that's how it works. So there's no additional time for training. I try to give some training in the group supervision, especially at the beginning. There's less cases. The feedback I got last year is that they wanted more training, or even repeat some of the trainings that we gave. And I'm trying to do that. So I think what I'll do is like maybe offer like half an hour of training every week, and keep chipping away at the things we want to be training. And the training that I've offered so far, or I plan to offer, is motivational interviewing, suicidality, trauma, and what to do with it in session. The kind of training I offer is very practical. Like, it's just like, this is what you do when this happens, you know, like it's not theoretical. Then I want to offer IFS training, intergenerational family trauma training. Let me see my list of trainings. Where do I have that list? Anyway, but you get the idea. Like, and if they have like, I want to offer one in harm reduction, just really practical things. I offer one in documentation, really clearly how to document well, things like that. So first, we used to be able to have 1 or 2 trainees that only spoke English, but at this point, things are so slow that I will only be taking people that they're either able to speak Spanish or Arabic. And even Arabic, like there are not as many students. So preferably Spanish or MAM would be a great language to have too, just because I cannot fill their caseload. So that's one thing right off the bat. And then it's really helpful if they are able to take feedback, and it's very helpful if they tend to mesh really well with the school if they're really passionate about the immigrant community, or if they are either immigrants themselves or they have been passionate about it for a while. Yeah. I think the build up of cases when it actually happens feels a little bit like, okay, like I'm ready to slow down now. And it takes some getting used to, especially the first year that you do this. It's like, it's hard. The 20 years is hard. And then these are not easy cases. Like, of course, I'm right there with you every step of the way, but yeah, you do work with trauma, you do work with potential CPS reports, and you do deal with external situations that you don't have much control over, such as, recent immigration, not having documentation, tough financial situations. We work a lot with unaccompanied minors. We don't bill, which I think is a great plus about us. Let me tell you, we don't bill, so therefore the documentation that we do is just like what we need to do for standard of care, but we don't, it's not like the kind of documentation that medical requires or things like that. And we don't bill, and that allows us to take unaccompanied minors and people that don't have any medical or sometimes don't have any papers, and that's tough because you are offering counseling, but this person is dealing with many other things that none of you have much control over, and that's a tough thing to live through, and that's a tough thing to witness. So no extra paperwork, right? Because we don't bill, just good documentation. And you can see clients as long as you see it as we think it's clinically fit. So you can see clients years, even if you stay years in the site. So I think that's really great. You don't have to do a certain number of sessions. And let's see. And I think if you like diverse environments, and you are an immigrant yourself, or you feel really close to an immigrant population, it's a place that you'll feel very at home, because at the COS meeting, for example, most everybody are either first generation is when you were born here, right? First generation Americans, and or either people that have immigrated as adults. I mean, it's a very diverse environment. So yeah.